On the broadcast this week, hours away, all eyes are on tonight's football game as the Rapids return to John O'Rourke Field. Chief sports correspondent Connor Orr with our preview. Also, Abby Davis one-on-one. Talan Collins sits down with River's new associate principal in a Sierra News exclusive. Plus, paying it forward. NHS inducts this year's members in a formal ceremony. Elijah Garon with that story. And snapshots. Audrey Flak takes a look behind the scenes with the Yearbook team. A special edition of Weekly News starts now.
This is CR Weekly News. Here now, Chief Anchor Time Sasakvinich.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us for a special 10-minute edition of Weekly News on this Friday, October 4th. We begin this week with Spirit Week. Students all around the school dressed up according to the themes for each day. Monday was Camo Out, Tuesday was Pirate Day, Wednesday was College Wear, Thursday was Color War, and today is River Out. Thank you everyone for bringing your spirit this week. Also, earlier today was our homecoming court assembly. The nominees walked through the gym and showed off their handshakes. Take a look.
Hi. Hi. Service.
But before tomorrow night's dance is the homecoming football game, where this year's homecoming queen will be announced. Sierra Sports chief correspondent Connor Orr previews that game for us. Connor?
Yeah, that's right, Time. River football takes on RA Long tonight at 7 o'clock. This game is critical for River. Currently, they sit with an 0-2 record in league and have struggled to get much going. As for their opponent, RA Long, they've had a strong start to the season, currently with a 2-0 record in league. They're coming off a 47-14 win over Hawkinson and are looking to prove that they are real contenders to win the league. River's defense has been consistent throughout the season and has been able to keep the team in games. Specifically, the defensive line has been surgical, and for tonight's contest, it will need to continue to do its thing to stop RA Long's run game and to get pressure on their quarterback. As for River's offense, it will need to pull its weight. It has struggled to find its rhythm all year, and for this game, it may need to be more creative and aggressive if the running lanes are not open early on. Overall, I anticipate a close game that could go either way.
And Connor, how do you think River can win this all-important game?
Well, I think River can win if their offense brings its A game and if the defense can hold RA Long to under around 20 points. If that happens, I believe we could see River's first league win of the season tonight. Time.
Connor, thank you. We now turn to that exclusive interview with River's new associate principal. With me on set is Sierra News chief correspondent Talan Collins. Talan, what were some of the key takeaways?
Well, Time, in my conversation with Miss Abby Davis, we discussed her background, experience, as well as how she believes schools can tackle issues such as the rise of new technologies in the classroom. Davis says she's a strong student advocate, with one of her main priorities being to foster a culture of belonging right here at River. Here are some of the highlights. What do you think students should know about you on a personal level?
Yeah, well, Talan, thank you for having me. I have loved my time here at River so far. Really feel embraced by students and faculty. I'm from Vancouver. I left and I went to college in Indiana University. I played sports there. I came back to Vancouver, started as a teacher. I taught at Eisenhower and I taught at Discovery for 8 years total, and then the last 12 I've been an administrator.
So what drew you to River specifically now as an administrator? What was that process like?
There was an opportunity for me to come to Columbia River. I really enjoyed my previous experience at Skyview High School as the curriculum associate, and getting to work with students as they plan their post-secondary plans. That's really important to me, and especially myself attending a four-year university, attending it as a student athlete, that was a big draw for me for River. The athletics and the academic tradition here are really strong, and so I hope to provide some perspective.
And since you're a new administrator here, when Mr. Roberts, who you mentioned, when he was leaving, did he give you any advice, or have you received any advice from any other administrators?
Yes.
And if so, what would you say has been the most valuable of that advice?
Yeah, Mr. Roberts and I have known each other for a long time, and so he was just like, "You're gonna love it here. He's kind of does the talks with his hands. You're going to love it here. It's so great. So I appreciated that. I appreciated his enthusiasm and energy. Even after, a long career in education for him, he still had really great things to say.
What led you down this path to becoming an administrator? And perhaps before that, what led to your interest as an educator?
That's a great question. I'm sure many of our students might be in the same situation, but my parents were both educators. So they both taught in Vancouver Public Schools. My dad taught elementary and my mom taught middle school. It was very natural for me in my home. I had great examples.
And now that you're here at River as an administrator, what are some of your main goals as an associate principal here?
Just really getting to know people. I'm a people person. I like to build relationships with people. I like to make them feel valued.
Yeah, and if students have those thoughts, those recommendations, maybe even concerns, how do you plan to engage with them to make sure that their voices are heard?
Yeah, so we have our student advisory team that, of course, meets with Superintendent Snell and representatives from other buildings. We also have our diversity club, which meets, and Miss Parker and Miss Bamford work to support that club. Those are two really good places or access points for kids to share concerns. I also would just encourage students to come forward, come meet with myself, meet with Mr. Duncan, meet with Mr. Odepal, maybe suggesting things that we haven't thought of, or other groups that we need to bring together to have conversations.
And you can watch that full interview later this afternoon on the CRTV YouTube channel. Next Monday, during Rapid Response, students will be asked to complete the Panorama Survey. The Panorama Survey is very important to the school as they use this data to make important decisions about student atmosphere, so please take the survey seriously and answer truthfully. Thank you. NHS held an important annual ceremony earlier this week. Elijah Garon has that story. Elijah?
That's right, Time. This past Monday was the National Honor Society induction ceremony, where both juniors and seniors got recognized for their outstanding academic performances during their freshman and sophomore years.
And so it is a way to remind ourselves that if we are gifted and we've been successful, we should pay it forward.
It's such a prestigious institution. It recognizes the work that they have put in their freshman and sophomore years.
It's an exclusive organization in which students need to have at least a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or above, among other requirements, and be selected by the Faculty Council.
It's a national organization that recognizes students for their service, character, leadership, and scholarship.
It's a student-led organization that values leadership, character, service, and excellence.
Members of the club are also involved in community service.
The first thing we might be doing here is helping clean up after the River football game.
NHS is a very important part of our school and community that is a prestigious role anyone can achieve with a little hard work and determination. Elijah Garon, CR News.
Also this week, we found out a little more about what the yearbook class is all about. CR News' Audrey Flak reports.
The yearbook class has been working very hard to put together this year's yearbook.
We have our editors, Riley, Sydney, and Ava. They help and they choose out colors as well.
I would say that I'm more of a guide. If they do need me to make a decision on something, a final decision I will, but I believe that it's the students' yearbook to make, and so I try to guide them to be as successful as possible in that.
Please remember to pre-order your yearbook by January 17th to be guaranteed to get a yearbook.
There's a lot of memories in there that can't all just be deciphered based on pictures from your phone or memories.
All senior quotes must be submitted by Friday, December 20th, or they will not be included in the yearbook this year.
Send us photos. They're not guaranteed to be used, but we would love to take any photos that you have or any suggestions that you have into consideration for our yearbook this year.
Submit the photos to Ms. McIntyre's email. If you have any other questions, please email cryearbook@vanity.org.
All important deadlines to keep track of. That is weekly news for this Friday. I'm Time Sasakvanich. We hope you all have a great time at this year's homecoming events. For all of us here at CR News, thanks for watching.
Hey Rapids, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the CRTV YouTube channel to support content for and by CR students. Thanks for watching.